Sometimes life moves so slowly, you start to wonder if the things you dream about are ever actually going to happen. You work, you wait, and you keep taking small steps forward without really knowing where the road is leading. And then sometimes, all at once, a door opens. That's what it feels like for us right now. This morning we're driving out, watching the mountains come into view, still kind of in disbelief that this place is real. Then we pull in and see our herd there after the first night, safe, relaxed, and content. And standing here now, it really feels like the beginning of a whole new chapter.
You love your new home last night? How are you? Good morning, Jojo. Good morning. Do you love your new home? You're so cute. Oh, you're itchy. Oh, I'll get it for you. What your little ears? Yeah. Good girl, Joes.
Well, today we're going to give you a little property tour of this place. So, you saw the 2 corrals yesterday when we brought the equines all over. So it looks like everyone's doing really good this morning. And we're going to show you, there's a little horse barn, there's a shop, and then we have some fun plans for some Mustang facilities that we're working on, and then also an arena, which is really exciting. So we're going to show you where those are going to go, and we'll also get a couple shelters to put in the corrals, and then each of the Mustang pens, we're going to have 3 generaling pens for our Mustangs to start off with, and each one of those are going to have a 12x12 run-in shed as well. So we've kind of got that laid out. There's a guy coming over to move some fencing, and as soon as he does that, then we can start putting up our Mustang pens, which is really exciting. But this morning we're in a little bit of a hurry. We want to check on these guys. I'm going to get their feeders set up. We'll put a couple hay bales with hay nets in there so they can just eat as they please. And then we've got to run into town and go to Les Schwab and get our brakes changed out on our car. So we've got to hurry up and get this sprayed and then head into town. But we'll be out here for at least a couple hours this morning and just enjoy the peace and quiet out here. It's so nice. And it looks like our herd is loving it. So it really, I don't know, it almost made me emotional yesterday, watching them just enjoy more space and grass and all of that. So it's been pretty awesome. So you guys have seen the 2, what we're going to call the dry lots right now. They have some grass in them, but the grass probably won't last all that long. So we've got 1 acre dry lot right here, fenced in buck and rail, and then a 1 acre dry lot over here, fenced in buck and rail. And then out here is a giant pasture, which we'll show you guys. We'll just kind of walk out there and I'll show you what's out there. Right now it's all fenced with barbed wire, but this section along here is going to be replaced with buck and rail. And then I think this section eventually is going to be replaced with buck and rail, and maybe the whole thing eventually. We have a stack of panels out there, which are for our Mustang generaling corrals, which are going to go right here on the other side of this far dry lot. So we'll walk out there and show you that too. But let's look at the horse barn. What are you up to?
One of my least favorite ranch chores. Spraying some weeds.
Yeah, we don't usually spray all that much, but we needed to kill this section out because of the arena.
Yeah. I was like, is she gonna tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him.
This is super exciting. And also apparently there's quite a few rattlesnakes on this property, and so we just want to keep all the kind of brush cleared, or not brush, but shrubbery cleared, so you can kind of see where you're walking.
Yeah, at least around the buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll mow and weed eat this stuff, but Jason's just gonna spray right along the edge of things. and probably around like you know, the water hydrants and stuff like that. So he's just gonna spray the perimeter, and then he's gonna spray this whole flat, because right up here is gonna be a probably 65 by 130 outdoor riding arena. And there is a neighbor that's gonna come over and do some dirt work, haul in some base. And tomorrow when we run into town, we're going to look at some sand options for footing for this. So anyway, there'll be a nice big riding arena, which is going to be amazing. But I'll show you the horse barn, because it's pretty nice. It's not huge, but it's awesome. All of these bays are probably 12 by, I don't know, 14, 12 by 16. So they're pretty good sized stalls. So I have like the little, probably what would be like feed. Right now we're just using it for some storage. But you could make this into another stall if you wanted. And then there's these stalls with nice little runouts. There's no mats down. We might put mats down if we end up using these a bunch, but for now it's just awesome. If we need to bring them in out of the weather, they can come up here for right now until we get the shelters in. But the forecast looks like it's supposed to be really, really nice, so for now we won't need to. Just a really nice little barn. Got half walls on all the stalls, and then they go out to individual little turnouts. So this is gonna be awesome. And then right out there is our crew. See I'm past the panels. We got some kind of bird nest up there. I don't know what kind of bird that is. But there's a little bit of cleanup. There's some outlets so we can hang some lighting in here, which would be really nice. Overall, this is going to be great. We probably will just keep stuff for the arena, like barrels, poles, just things like that in here. I don't know if we'll keep feed in here. We'll see. There's also a shop over there. We'll just kind of show you guys that, and we might keep feed in there. What is he doing, Rooster? Spraying? Does that smell funny? Can you see your marker?
What?
Can you see your marker?
Oh yeah, barely.
Nice.
Yeah.
My first horse when I was a kid hated spray. Like, he was super chill until you started spraying stuff, and then he would freak out. So Rooster coming over and investigating made me think of it. It was the smell. Like, even if he couldn't see you, as soon as he smelled it, he would just freak. So anyway, horses don't love it sometimes. But like we said, we don't really like to use spray all that often, but in this case we need to kill all this because we don't want it growing up in the arena. So then there's this big shop. I don't really know how large it is, but it's got a concrete floor, so we can use this to store tack and feed. There's a tractor parked in there. I think that they're probably looking at buying a new tractor as well, so that'll be really handy for us to use. And yeah, I'm not gonna walk you around the inside of the shop probably today, but super nice shop. It'll be awesome to store stuff in. And yeah, just a nice big building. What is it, buddy? Taz is very concerned. It's a monster. It's just your feeder. Alright, we still need to get this feeder fixed. We have not fixed it yet. Need to find a welder. I can weld that back on, but it seems to be working, even though it's a little rail broke off. Now we can put a netted hay bale in there, and then they can have free choice hay. Even though they have all this grass, it's still nice to give them some hay, some roughage, some dry roughage, so that'll be good. Hey guys. Hey Walrus. Hi Lucy. Hi Roosty. Oh, don't be mean to him. Poor Bobby's got picked on. Poor guy. Where's everyone today? Y'all look good. No bumps, lumps, or bruises or cuts anywhere. Nice. This property, although new to us, is definitely already a special place. It honestly feels surreal to even be here, and we can't wait until we're eventually living out here full time. There are some beginning plans being talked about for a home to eventually be put in here for us, which is really exciting to think about. But for the short term, we'll be staying at our current place. Thankfully, it's really not too bad of a drive, so we'll be able to come out here daily while we are staying at home for now. Once our Mustang setup is complete and we're able to bring Honey over as well, we plan to move our living quarters horse trailer out here and stay in that through the summer. For the time being, we are also going to be holding on to our current property. But as long as everything continues going well out here, the plan would be to eventually sell that place while we're already living here, which would make the whole process a lot easier on us and the equines. Bob, are you in heaven? What are you even eating? There's the little baby grasses. Yeah, buddy. Look at, he's so happy. He's so happy. Good boy. Not as many flies out here, huh? A little colder out here. Oh boy. Although we can't set them up quite yet, we did purchase a load of Brazzen panels. These are 6 foot tall and look extremely safe for horses, which was really important to us for the Mustangs. We also purchased 3 bow gates, and this stack of panels is enough to build 3 30-foot Mustang corrals out here. Although the plan will eventually be to integrate the Mustangs into our herd once they are gentled, it is very important to have them in a tall and secure fence while they are still wild. Turning a Mustang loose into a big area right away, especially around low fences or barbed wire, would not be a good idea if you have any intentions of gentling that horse anytime soon. Not only could they jump out, but even worse, they could get caught in a fence. And as you can imagine, trying to doctor or catch a wild horse in that situation would be extremely difficult and very stressful on the horse. So until they're able to settle in, adapt to domestic life, and learn that humans are friends, they really need to be in a safe and secure environment. So what we're going to call the big pasture is fenced in 4-strand barbed wire. Took the bottom strand off because pronghorn antelope go under fences. They don't typically like to jump fences, and so if you run a bottom wire, usually it's good to run smooth wire for them, but in this case they just took the entire bottom strand off for the antelope. This whole section of fence is really like brand new. They put it up for a cattle lease they had, but the fencing company didn't put it exactly where the owners wanted it, and so this whole fence is actually going to get torn out and be replaced with buck and rail on this side and probably that side as well sooner than later. Buck and rail is just a lot safer for horses, and the owner ultimately wants this to be a nice horse property, so I think eventually the perimeter fences that go way out and around out there will also get changed to buck and rail. But as you guys know, buck and rail is extremely expensive, so they're just going to do one section at a time. Another thing that's going to be nice is this whole section is going to be moved down to the first wood post, which is way down there. And so this won't be fenced in here. There'll be that buck and rail, and then there's actually going to be a road bed that's graded from up near the shop. It's going to come down through here like a 24-foot road bed, and then it's going to go out into this area, which is going to be where our Mustang facility is. So we're going to put in 3 30-foot round pens in here, and we're going to have 12x12 shelters off of them. They're going to be made out of 6-foot tall Brazzen premium panels. Then they're going to have wood posts at every panel connection that's going to be even taller, and we're going to run a rail, like a buck and rail up above the panels just to make them a little bit taller in case we ever get a Mustang that wants to jump out. So because you never know, we don't plan to put that much pressure on them, but you could have elk run through here, it could freak them out, or just driving a tractor around, maybe that freaks them out. Just want it to be extra safe. So right now I'm standing in what we're going to call the big pasture, but eventually the fence is going to start right about there and go all the way down to where it butts up into the barbed wire. So this pasture, I'll have to check, but it's somewhere between, I think, like 80 and 100 acres. There is just a little bit of stuff here and there. Like you can see this little chunk of barbed wire sticking up out of the ground. So like this kind of stuff, I don't think I can pull that out, but set a stick next to it. We'll do like an X right here. One more, and then that way we can come back and find where that piece of wire is, but we'll pull that out. There's not much for that kind of stuff in this field, but we will need to walk it just to make sure that it's safe. So we'll probably ride it, honestly. It's so big. So you can see that big green flat out there. That is part of the field. It goes clear back around there. So there's going to be quite a bit of grass in this, way more than our horses can eat, which is just amazing. They can be turned out in here, and then every night we'll bring them back into their little, what we're calling the dry lots. And so yeah, it'll be awesome. So this property has a little bit of irrigation. We haven't really figured out the rights and like how that all works, so we'll need to check into that. I know it's kind of changed over the years, and I don't know that we'll use it or not. It is such a huge property. This property is a couple 100 acres, and so I don't know if we'll ever even really take the time to set up the irrigation or get that going again, but it's definitely an option in the future, potentially. And but right now there's so much grass on this property that even without water rights, like, it's way more than our equines are going to eat. So we've talked to the owners, and we might end up reseeding sections at a time, and we just run up some hot wire or whatever and keep the equines off of that section for a year. So we might do that with some sort of like dry land pasture mix, probably the same thing we put out on our little property that you guys watched us seed here a few months ago. I think we did that in November. They make some really good like dry land pasture mixes, so we might do something like that. But yeah, this right here where I'm standing is going to be like our nice little Mustang setup. It's going to have 3 30-foot round corrals, like I said, that are those 6-foot tall Brazzen panels. We got all those delivered the other day, so we just need to set those up. And then they're going to have 12 by 12 shelters. So we're going to get that all set up before we go ahead and bring Honey or any other Mustangs over here that are at least pretty wild. We want them to make sure that they have shelters. Plus, I think once they're in the corrals, bringing those shelters in and putting the shelters in after they're already in the corrals could be really stressful for them. But the way we're going to have them set up is it's going to be a 30-foot round corral, and then it'll have a panel that we can open into their shelter. So then they can have full access of the shelter, and then when we want to go work with them, we can just go in the shelter, close that panel, and then we have a total round corral, and they can't get like caught up in that shelter. So I think that should work really good. We had thought about doing like 24 by 24 pens with the alley and then maybe a corral at the end, but after talking to Mustang Matt about that setup, and he used to have like that identical setup, he just said he didn't really like it, and it makes sense. Like, and we had kind of had the same thought. You're going to run them down into the corral, you work with them, and then you end on a good note, and then you have to like put pressure and run them back down into their pen, and it kind of just ends it on a bad note because you're like putting pressure on them to run them back into the pen when they were at a good place. This way, they just live in those round corrals till they're gentled, and we can go in there, we can work with them, and then we can climb out of there and end it on a good note. So I think that'll be a lot better. But yeah, this field is in pretty good shape. Like, the cows grazed it down some. There's a lot of pile of cow poop that's just sitting here. So it might not hurt to, I don't know, you can't really drag it. It definitely has a lot of sage and like bitter brush and rabbit brush in here. But yeah, there's a ton of grass. And I think if we just reseed patches here and there, it's going to be awesome. It's going to have way more grass than our equines can eat. I'm standing in the field, like where our Mustang corrals are going to go. They're going to go right here. So this isn't even the field yet. And look how far Clyde is over there. The scale of everything here is just so much larger. It is amazing. They have so much room. Looks like something got... I think that's a red-tailed hawk. Pretty feathers, though. Something at least got some feathers out of it. So this property has elk that migrate through it. And so during times of the year, we probably won't have the horses put out into this pasture. Because there's a huge range gate that is nice to leave open so the elk don't tear the fence out. But times of years where the elk aren't migrating through, the equines can all come out here. There's some pronghorn antelope that come out here. There's coyotes that come out here. They shouldn't bug the equines at all. Every once in a while there's mountain lions, but for the most part they don't come down here. And they've seen wolf tracks in the snow and like badger tracks in the snow, but other than that, there's just really not much for predators around here, so we don't really have to worry about that. But they do come through every once in a while, which would be kind of cool to see. So that's another reason we're just going to bring the equines in every night into their dry lots. Is I don't worry about like mountain lions or wolves attacking our equines. Unless one was like sick or desperate, I don't think they would go after a full-size horse. But it could spook them if a cougar like comes through in the middle of the night. And so we'll just put them back into the buck and rail fence where it's a lot safer than, you know, the barbed wire. We don't want to risk anyone running through barbed wire in the middle of the night. But this pasture is so big that I think even if they got spooked, they could like, you know, run and not end up against a fence. So even though it's barbed wire, which is like the worst thing for horses, We're not too worried about it. We're definitely going to get them acclimated to just being here and stuff first. And this fence is going to have some work done to it. So it'll be a while before we turn them out into that big pasture, but maybe later, you know, this summer, like June, July, something like that probably, we'll end up turning them out. I think it'd be really fun to teach them. Like, they come to a whistle right now, but when you're like way over there, half a mile or whatever the other end of the field is, it's gonna be hard for them to hear us. So I think I might get like a triangular dinner bell and try to teach them how to come to a dinner bell. Plus, I think that would be so fun. So let me know if you have a giant property. How do you call your horses in? Do you just have a big loud yell? Do you whistle? Do you have a dinner bell? Like, what do you guys use? So ours come to a whistle right now, but I think we could probably retrain them to like a dinner bell, which would be hilarious. And also would be kind of nice because they'd definitely be able to hear that clear across the property. So it does get a little snowier here. It does get a little colder here than our house. And so we just want to make sure that, like, if it rains and the temperature drops, that they can get in somewhere that's dry. So like we said, for now, we can, let me throw this glass away that I found. For now, we'll just bring them into the barn if it gets like really wet and cold, which it shouldn't, at least not in the forecast for like the next couple weeks. It looks like it should be just super nice for them. Not too hot, not too cold. And then hopefully, we're hoping sooner than later to get those shelters put in. So we're just going to get some like what would be like temporary shelters, like removable shelters. They're still a solid structure, and then we'll just use anchor kits to anchor them into the ground because it can get really windy out here, so we don't want them to risk like flipping. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and put a couple shelters in. The owners are actually going to be purchasing 12 by 24, which is super nice because they're going to stay with this property. And then we're going to purchase 3 12 by 12s for the Mustang setup because if and when we leave, then we'll take those with. So we'll have a Mustang setup for wherever. But the plan for now is to stay. Like, we're going to set this all up. It's going to be like semi-permanent to where if we do leave, we're going to have to like pull posts and stuff like that. So the plan is to stay, not necessarily like indefinitely, but like we're hoping for quite a long while. So if all goes well, we have to make sure that the owner is like enjoying us being on the property, and of course that it's working out good for us. I think it's going to work great for us. So we're really, really excited. But yeah, we're pumped for all of this. So it's so nice seeing these guys out on such a big space. So Jason sprayed along just the exterior of these buildings. We'll weed eat, but it'll make it a lot easier to weed eat if there's not stuff right up against the side of the buildings. We really don't like to use any kind of spray, even if it's supposed to be pet and environmentally safe. But with the rattlesnakes on the property and the arena going in, we do need to get some of the areas under control. Our main way of managing the taller weeds and grasses in high traffic areas will be through mowing and weed eating. The fields are not going to get sprayed, and neither are the pens where the equines are currently staying. But the excavation contractor told us that spraying the arena before putting the base down is pretty much a must.
Last tank.
Last tank.
Last tank.
Did you spray along the shop already?
No, I'm gonna do that as soon as I get these ones done.
Nice. Got that done pretty fast.
What?
You got that done pretty fast.
Yeah, I went pretty good.
Yeah.
My left arm is numb.
It's gonna be way more jacked. You look like Popeye. Yeah, look at that. Here, I'll zoom in. Look at those muscles.
You better zoom in.
I got Mesa out there. You can barely see her. She's just flopped over napping. Just loving her life. Rooster stand and watch. You're having so much fun.
What's that?
Are you having so much fun?
Yeah. This is just my favorite. It is nice to have no weeds though, so.
Yeah. All right, we're on a time crunch, so we gotta throw some hay out and go. But yeah, we'll give these guys some hay and then head out.
Nice place to spend a morning though.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait till we're out here way more than this, so
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Yes, it will.
Soon, very soon.
Very soon. Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. Get it? This is not where we're gonna store hay long term, but we just brought a few bales over, so we're just gonna set them in the little horse barn for now and call that good. But there is another building that we haven't shown you guys. I'll show you that on a different video. We'll have to break this property tour up into a couple videos, but
Yeah.
anyway, we're gonna store it over there. So I better help Jason real quick though. Okay, we're gonna take these nether bales down to the feeders. That way if they want some grass hay, they've got it, but they got a lot of grass to eat, so they probably won't eat much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna carry one, Jason's gonna carry one. We'll go put them in their feeders. All right, bale is in. Jason's gonna come cut these strings, but we got sleepy ponies. They don't care that we just gave them hay. They're just tired. They're just happy and content out on the grass. Clyde's still munching. Rooster and Mesa are just sleeping. This is you gotta cut the string without cutting the netting.
Nailed it.
Nailed it, good job.
Oh man, what a good way to start the day. Come hang out here.
Yeah.
We'll start every day like this.
Yep.
It's gonna be amazing.
Awesome. So content. You
I
can't
know.
even see them
It's
from
so
here hardly.
So nice to see him just lounging. Full belly, sun shining.
Look at them babies out there just sleeping. Rooster acts mature, but he's still a baby.
He is.
He's only 4. He just turned 4.
Yeah.
He's still kind of a baby.
He really is, baby.
Yeah. Alright, let's go check their water. Just want to make sure their tank is not leaking. Looks good. No leaks. Nice. Alrighty. It's hard to leave this place tonight. Watching the horses and mules settle in, napping in the grass with these mountains all around them, it still doesn't quite feel real. But thankfully we'll be back out here again tomorrow. And there's still so much more to do and share with you guys as the next chapter starts coming together. If you want to follow along with all of our future plans out here, the Mustang setups, arena build, generaling more wild Mustangs, and all the adventures to come, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.